Donald Trump is facing another big problem connected to Epstein. His already bad week just got worse. Ghislaine Maxwell's family released a new statement about her case, her trial, and her appeal to the Supreme Court. This is all happening while people across the country are talking about Epstein and Trump again. I have not followed her story closely. I just wish her the best, to be honest. I have met her many times over the years, especially when I lived in Palm Beach, and I think she lived there too. So I wish her well, whatever is going on. You wish her well? Is that really the right thing to say? No wonder there's no card for that in the Hallmark store. Trump got caught off guard again as Ghislaine Maxwell's family broke their silence and took her case to the Supreme Court. At the same time, old videos of Trump saying nice things about her are going viral, and the timing could not be worse. Is this just more legal drama, or is Maxwell finally ready to speak up and take Trump down too? Everything is based on real footage, real quotes, and confirmed news. It's the kind of truth that shakes Trump. Even his team seemed confused. First, they said there was a client list, then they said there was not. They promised to release all the files, then did not release anything. So, what's the excuse today? Trump says these files were made up by Comey, by Obama, by Biden, and says it all calmly like he is not worried to all. It's kind of impressive how confidently he says something that blames three presidents and FBI director, and then just trails off. But maybe that's the whole plan. When the truth comes too close, the goal is to confuse people, change the topic, and hope no one see the fear behind the calm look. And things are only getting stranger from here. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. Was often on Epstein's private jet known as the Lolita Express. Epstein once told writer Michael Wolff that the first time he slept with Melania, it was on his plane, and that, my friends, is how I met your mother, Baron. So next time you are stuck on a plane with crying baby, just remember it could always be worse. What exactly did Trump say? We may never know, and I was not just parting. Trump and Epstein were also neighbors. Epstein said Trump was his best friend for 10 years. In fact, Epstein's famous Little Black Book had 14 phone numbers for Trump and his staff, 14 different ways to reach him. When I send my kid to summer camp, I give them two emergency contacts, and one of those is fake just to avoid extra stress. But these two, Epstein was involved in key moments of Trump's life. Most people don't give 14 phone numbers to someone they barely know, and most people don't have their so-called best friend sharing personal stories about them on a plane called the Lolita Express. But hi, in Trump's world, this is just a normal Tuesday. Trump and several of his picks, like Pam Bondi and Kash Patel, had promised to release all the files and name the people involved the Epstein during their campaigns. But now, in recent weeks, they have quietly backed away from those promises. That sudden change has injured many well-known far-right voices who still believe there's a client list. Even thought Trump's team denies it, with the government hiding detail. More attention is now on Epstein's partner, Ghislaine Maxwell. Let's break this down. During the election, they promised to be open, said the Epstein list would be shared, and hyped it like it was a major reveal. But now, as MAGA supporters start asking tough questions, Pam Bondi is missing and Trump's team is acting like the files never existed. It's not just the silence that's the species, it's the sudden memory loss. This is the same group that claimed they were going to clean up corruption. Now it looks that they are hiding something instead. By now, you have probably heard that Trump, Epstein, and Ghislaine Maxwell were friends, but you might not know just how close they really were. Trump says he met Epstein in the late 18s, and photos from the 90s show him the Maxwell, who was dating Epstein at the time. They all lived in Palm Beach. At one point, Epstein was even a member at Trump's club, Mar-a-Lago. And yes, during the wild parties at Mar-a-Lago, Jeffrey Epstein was one of the invited guests. Trump and Epstein were seen staring at cheerleaders. Trump pointed at one and said, "She's hot." That he whispered something to Epstein that made him burst out laughing. According to ABC News, Trump did not just ignore the Epstein investigation, he attacked his own supporters for not accepting the official version. He called it the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. said they were falling for left-wing lies, and even told them he did not want their supporter anymore. For someone who built his image on loyalty and conspiracy theories, turning on his own face like this might be the biggest surprise yet. Everything being said here is backed by public record, video interviews, and confirmed reports. After Epstein died in prison, only one person was left who knew his secrets: Ghislaine Maxwell. When she was charged with sex trafficking, Trump reacted in a strangely soft way. In a 2022 interview with New York Magazine, Trump spoke highly of Epstein, calling him a traffic guy and saying it's even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, many of them younger. Think about how creepy you have to be for Donald Trump to think you are too into young women. That's like your drunk friend taking your car keys. It really says something. But if you thought that was shocking, just wait. What Ghislaine Maxwell is doing now has Trump's circle in full panic mode, and things are about to get real. The Guardian now says Maxwell has told people she is ready to testify in front of Congress about Epstein and his clients. Most people think she took a plea deal to stay silent, but she did not. There is no agreement stopping her from talking. So to be clear, Maxwell is not just appealing her case, she is basically calling out to Congress saying she is ready to speak. No deal, no gag order, just a convicted trafficker with a list of names and Supreme Court appeal in her pocket. If Trump was not already nervous, this might be the moment things get tight. He might start to panic. Yeah, I wish you well. I had wish her well. I wish a lot of people well. That's what he said. But wait, what? You wish everyone well? You were tougher on Kristen Stewart for cheating on Robert Pattinson, and now you are soft on Ghislaine. Imagine law, order, as we use starting with these crimes are terrible and we wish the criminals well. Sound word right. Wishing someone well is not strange unless that person is a convicted trafficker involved in one of the biggest scandals of the decade. And when you have the shown more outrage over celebrity breakups, then these people start to wonder. So let's be real. I wish her well is not what most expect from a former president in this case. The Republican Party is also stopping her. Right now, they control both chambers of Congress and have full power to open investigations. And as The Guardian points out, Congress can investigate nearly anything. In the past, they have looked into things like smoking, the effects of porn, and even the KKK. So there's no real reason they could not open a case on Epstein, even just to bring Maxwell in and have her speak publicly. So, to sum it all up, for the MAGA crowd wondering why Trump does not want to release the files, maybe the answer is simple, like painfully abused simple. Think outcomes can't match it. Trump keeps saying I wish her well like he is writing a birthday card. Meanwhile, the GOP, which the controls, he is working hard to keep her silent. If you are asking why no one wants these files out, maybe it's not some hug conspiracy. Maybe just take a little common sense, and that's big all match it. And that brings us to the letter Maxwell's family just released. We already know Trump once thought about pardoning Ghislaine Maxwell, likely to keep her quiet. We know Republicans are blocking her from testifying in Congress. Now suddenly Trump wants her to stay in prison, and to be fair, I do think she belongs there, but let's be honest, Trump's reason is probably different. He does not want her to talk. In their letter, Maxwell's family claims she did not get a fair trial. They say the government broke a deal and they are now trying to overturn her convictions. Meanwhile, Trump's team is doing everything they can to keep her behind bars. After years of suggestions, a possible pardon. So what changed? Maybe it's who she might name. Does any of this make sense to you? Share your thoughts. Someone's got to ask the question. No one else will. If Maxwell is the only one in prison and she is ready to talk, then the real question is, why is Trump so scared of what she might say? Don't blink. This is where it gets real. Right now, Ghislaine Maxwell is serving on 20 years sentence in New York. A jury found her guilty on 5 counts of sex trafficking. Oh, and her own lawyers is suing her for nearly 9 lakhs USD in unpaid fees. But here's what matters. Trump once called Epstein a close friend and praised his interest in young women. No, Maxwell's family is mentioning Trump by name in a public letter. Before we get into that, let's take a moment to understand how deep Trump's connection to Maxwell really goes and why that's such a problem for him. Because the only person convicted in the entire Epstein circle is now ready to talk, ready to name names, ready to speak on the record, and yet it's Congress that keeps saying no. Meanwhile, Trump, who once praised Epstein's taste in women, now acts like none of this connects to him. That silence is not just loud, it's calculated. We know Trump is worried. His own biographer recently confirmed that when Ghislaine Maxwell was first arrested, Trump seriously thought about pardoning her. That's likely why he stood at the White House podium and said, I wish her well. Behind the scene, he was considering using his presidential powers to set her free, according to reporter Michael Wolff. But people in Trump's inner circle pushed back, warning him it would backfire badly. Basically, they were all hoping she had stayed quiet and really hoping Trump would not do anything reckless. In the end, Trump did not pardon her, but when the White House was asked about it later, the silence said aloud. He did not just say, I wish her well, he actually considered helping her. Some reports say Maxwell was obsessed with Epstein, even hoped to marry him, but according to federal prosecutors from 1994 to 1997, she helped him abuse multiple underage girls. The charges say she did not just stand by, she helped Epstein recruit, groom, and abuse young girls they both knew were minors. It's disturbing how far her loyalty went. Love does not cancel responsibility. They are not rumors, they are official charges filed in court. So why is she the only one caught in this silence? Then comes the question, why did Donald Trump fire the leader prosecutors who went after Epstein and Maxwell? When asked, Trump ally Caroline Levitt dodged the question, telling people to ask the Department of Justice. Others passed the blame to, even though the prosecutor Maureen Comey, James Comey's daughter, was removed after working on these high-profile cases. The truth is, Trump's connection to Epstein was not just casual, it was public and long-standing. From dancing together at Mar-a-Lago to that infamous 2002 quote praising Epstein's taste in young women, the history is hard to ignore. And when one of Epstein's accusers said she was first recruited at Mar-a-Lago as a teenager, the question gets even more serious. Not just about who was involved, but about who knew and when. We have seen the pictures, we have watched the videos. The relationship between Trump and Epstein was not a secret, it was documented out in the open, and it's far from over. One of Epstein's late accusers, Virginia Giuffre, says she was first brought into Epstein's circle at Mar-a-Lago when she was still a teenager. And let's not forget Trump's 2002 interview with New York magazine where he said, I have known Jeff for 15 years. He is a terrific guy, a lot of fun to be with. It's even said he likes beautiful women and many of them are on the younger side. We also have recordings of Epstein calling Trump his best friend. Ghislaine Maxwell, like Epstein, understood the inner workings of Trump's world, and yet Trump still directed Pam Bondi to help bury the Epstein's file. Now it's look like Trump's push to hide the client was not just paranoia. It was about protecting himself because Maxwell is reportedly ready to testify before Congress. Even if she stays in prison, her name hangs over Trump like a sword, just waiting to fall. If she talks, no one knows how far the truth will reach or who it might take down. So the bigger question is, why would not the GOP want Maxwell to testify and end this one and for all? Could it be because her testimony might include Republican lawmakers, maybe even Trump himself? If that happens, this story becomes much bigger. It could turn everything upside down. Is that why Trump and his allies have changed their tune on Epstein? Is that why they never released the file that they promised? And maybe most importantly is that why Trump, both during and after his presidency, considered pardoning Maxwell as journalist Michael Wolff has reported. In the end, this is not just about appeals or hidden files, it's about what Maxwell's silence might be worth to those who once called Epstein a friend. And if she really knows something that could bring it all down, Trump's injury may be the sound of a man realizing the walls are closing in. From missing files to Maxwell's potential testimony and Trump's shifting position, this story shows a pattern: silence where we should have answer and blame instead of a responsibility. What started as a promise to expose the truth has turned into confusion, denial, and fear, not just around Epstein, but around the people trying so hard to keep his secrets buried. Whether or not Maxwell ever speak, the real question remains: what truth are they so afraid she might share? This video is based on public statements made by Ghislaine Maxwell and Donald Trump along with verified reporting and footage from reputable news sources. We have aimed to present these facts with honesty and without exaggeration. This content fully follows YouTube's community guidelines and fair use policy. It's presented for commentary, public interest, and political analysis. If you found this video informative or eye-opening, consider subscribing for more. Thanks for watching.